Hello, big world. Do you have a family member that complains all the time? If so, this is the perfect video for you. I'm Steph Smith. I help people go from stuck to free in as little as 8 weeks. So, getting a diagnosis, a health diagnosis, can be a time of confusion, surprise, rethinking everything that you know to be true in your life, or the life of your family member. And so there are lots of questions that come along with a diagnosis of a serious medical issue, specifically a terminal medical issue such as cancer. And so there are lots of questions that people ask, and among those are, what could I have done differently? How could I have avoided this? And that's a very normal question to ask. And the reality is that it's already happened. Whatever was going to happen has happened. And so to move past that and to accept that this is what is so for me right now. Anything that could have happened that caused this has already happened. And so what I need to focus on right now is moving toward the acceptance of this diagnosis. And there are lots of things that go through my mind. I was diagnosed with a brain tumor at 36 years old. I was 36 whenever I got my diagnosis of brain cancer. And I very much had those thoughts go through my mind, amongst many others. But that was the biggest one that recurred for me, is what could I have done differently so that this wouldn't happen? And there's a genetic history, so there's a predisposition that made my brain more likely to develop a tumor. But there were lots of things that I, like choices that I made, that I was like, maybe if I would have done this differently, or maybe if I would have done that differently. But the reality is that I was given that diagnosis at 36 years old, and I found myself saying, what do I have to do to stay alive? And that, I think, is a really big piece of how I have continued to thrive and to find purpose and to use my situation to help other people to find purpose, even in the face of a terminal cancer diagnosis. That there are still moments of peace, and there are moments of purpose. And I think that that's a really important part of that when the doctor told me, you appear to have a brain tumor and we'll find out in the morning whether it's operable, I was just like, what do I have to do to stay alive? And I have continued to have that purpose and have that drive and have that that desire to be better. I have and so it motivated me to get my relationships with other people complete. That's a really good way to put it. Motivated me to get my relationships with other people complete, so that I could accept them, and that to be able to speak up for myself, and say this is what I prefer, this is information about me, and they're allowed to have whatever reaction they want to have to my preference. So if you like what you see, give me a follow, type in the comments yes if you want to hear more, and talk to you soon.